So, I made a game in RPG Maker 2003 and now I'm making a prequel to that game in Unreal Engine 5. How was that transition from engine to engine? Obviously, this is not really going to be a game engine comparison, which also would be kind of ridiculous. It's more like a quick impression. First of all, let's look at complexity. When switching engine, I was overwhelmed by Unreal's complexity. So let's say RPG Maker has like a complexity of 10 to the power of 2. So it's a bit complex, it's a game engine after all, but Unreal Engine is on a completely different level. It's more like 10 to the power of 3 or even 4. Take for instance battle animations in RPG Maker and Niagara particle effects in Unreal Engine. The battle animations are pretty straightforward. You got a sprite sheet and you throw single images on your frames. You can adjust the position, the opacity, color, and that's about it. Niagara systems are much more difficult to set up, and you can spend weeks figuring out all the different components and parameters and what they do. But of course this is a lot of fun too, because everyone likes particles. Now let's look at optimization. This is something you don't really have to deal with in RPG Maker, unless you let parallel processes run without a wait. All the more you have to deal with it in Unreal Engine, obviously because you want your 3D game to run smoothly. There was multiple occasions where I fell down into the optimization rabbit hole. You jump from tip to tip, from tutorial to tutorial, and nothing really works. And it just gets all more confusing. And can they please make optimization a bit more complicated? Because it's just not complicated enough. Just like the whole engine is. It doesn't surprise me at all that so many games seem to be poorly optimized, just because it's really hard to keep a clear overview of all of the matters involved. Now, events and variables. You have no idea how neat your little global variable list in RPG Maker is. It's annoying sometimes, yes, but mostly it's pretty easy to handle. So, one of the most difficult things for me to get used to was that in Unreal Engine almost everything is local. Usually you will create a variable in the events, so to speak, but the hardest part for me was to find means to reference them from outside these events. Just like everything in Unreal Engine, it's pretty complicated and there is a million ways to do it. But here's some good news. A variable in Unreal Engine can not only be a number, like in RPG Maker, but can also be a boolean, which equals a switch, a float, oh my god, there's floats, yes, text, and even multiple variables at the same time, which would be called an array. Also events, they're called blueprints here, by the way, can have parallel process, action key, and touched by hero at the same time. And they can have children too, yeah. So they will carry on all the bad habits from their parents. One of my favorite parts in Unreal Engine is customizing my events blueprints. In RPG Maker you got a fixed set of start conditions, like 2 switches and a variable and some other stuff. In Unreal Engine you can completely customize that. I mean, you have to customize it. This, for instance, is my cutscene or sequence starter event. And if I set a variable to instance editable, I can change it for every instance or child of this event on the map. For instance, I might want to set a specific story progress that will set the sequence active and enables you to trigger it, or the walking radius of an NPC or animal. And of course, just like in RPG Maker, you can configure options for NPCs to follow you, or run away from you, or just walk around randomly. Overall, I like both engines, and both can be a real pain in the ass, in their own unique, beautiful way. Thanks for watching. Check out my new devlog that is coming soon. Bye bye.